Hi there, Richard Hunley and David McKeever with Advance One McKeever Real Estate, here with another program of Ask the Brokers. The question that I got asked a lot this week, David, was, should I do the renovations to get my house worth more? Is it worth doing them or not? Can you give us some insight on that?
Yeah. That's one of the most common questions that a seller will ask an agent.
Yeah.
You know, hey, what are some things, can you look at my house because I wanted you to tell me some things I should do to improve it before I sell it, or is it worth improving before I sell it? A lot of them want to know what the home's worth as is, and if we did some things, what could we sell it for? So, you know, as an agent, you should educate yourself on, you know, what that process, you know, what the house would be worth as is, and, you know, and a lot of times you should ask your broker to help you find those numbers if you don't know how to do it yourself. So, but for purposes of today's show, we have some data for you to go over. It's basically some top renovations that sellers could do to help, you know, sell their home for more money. And I found an article. Now, I've seen these things on the internet a lot. You know, different outfits will put it out. This one's from HGTV. There's top 4 things that you can do to, or you should do before you sell your home. I think I've done videos on this in the past. But, you know, when companies put out these things, they're pretty repetitive in what you continue to see in each one, each survey, right?
Common topics.
Topics. But for this one from HGTV, the number one thing you can do is a minor bathroom remodel. And they're saying the return on investment is about 102% versus the money you put in. So, you know, what's included in that is, you know, putting a tile shower in, which can get a little pricey sometimes, updating the floor, vanity, sink, faucet, that sort of thing. Replacing the tub. Now, oftentimes that can get pricey because it can open up a can of worms, but there's simple solutions there that you can do to make the bathroom look better. Maybe it's not replacing the tub, but refinishing it, resurfacing it. You know, a lot of times you can do that for a few $100s. So.
Well, I saw a show just recently where they did that, and they took the tub out and just did, like you said, the tile shower instead of the tub. And, you know, it made the shower look really big, and it made it look way upgraded versus the shower tub thing. It just looked like a very modern, big tile shower with the, you know, nice glass doors on it. So it really did improve the looks of the bathroom.
Yeah, and then, I think you got to take these things with a grain of salt, because you have to know the neighborhood and the city that your home's located in, because you don't want to over-improve a home in a crappy neighborhood. Whereas the high-end cities, you got to put in those improvements. So just be careful about what you do so you're not dumping in too much money. Second thing that I always see on these sort of lists is updating the landscaping. And what's the main reason for updating the landscaping?
Well, in the front yard, it'd be the curb appeal. When people are pulling up and see the house, wow, you know, nice manicured green grass, colorful flowers out there, you know, it all looks nice versus dirt or dead grass or overgrown bushes and trees. And if they drive by and it looks nice, it's going to make the list to go inside and look at. If it doesn't make the list based on the front yard, they might never go in the house, and it's not even in the running.
Definitely want to make it welcoming. So that means get out there and pull the weeds, sweep and rinse off the walkways. You know, just make it really welcoming, and throw some mulch down in the garden beds and that sort of thing. That'd make a huge difference. And it's a cheap thing that you can do yourself, really.
You know, it's funny, I did the rock in my yard, spent a lot of money, a lot of rock. You know, there was a pile, you know, 10 feet high in my driveway, and did rock all over the place. I saw the guy next door do that darker bark stuff, which is really cheap. And then I looked at our 2 yards, and his looked as good as ours. Although probably after about 3 rains, mine will look better because his will be washed down the drain. but you know, sometimes that looks good enough to sell it, and it does look good, and a bag of that to replace it isn't that much money. So yeah, upgrade the landscaping. David, let me get into one here. Well, you know what, while we're on the landscaping in the front of the house, I saw another article that said a littler thing that really helped was, believe it or not, the front door. And again, it's just like the landscaping.
That's the last one, actually.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, we'll get on that in just a minute, or I should just go to it now.
Yep.
You think so?
Just get after it.
The front door is a big one, and you know, front doors can cost some money nowadays. I mean, I've seen them cost $1,000 pretty easily. You can get them a pretty good door for what, $500-600 with the glass in it and everything. And then also garage doors.
Yeah.
You know, if it's got dents in it where somebody drove in a little too far, or it's real faded, just plain looking, you get the nicer door with the windows in it, you know, it just kind of pops out there like the front door does. Again, curb appeal.
Yeah.
So a little bit more on the exterior, and definitely if you need a little paint, or you know how the roof looks. Sometimes the roof has a lot of that green, you know, algae on it because you've got trees hanging over it. You know, clean that up. That's pretty easy to do with what, chlorine and water, or Clorox and water. Spray it and brush it off. And again, getting the front looking good will help get people in the door.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2 of the 4 here are exterior projects, so it just goes to show maybe where you should focus your attention on. Yeah, a lot of times is simple power washing will clean the house up on the exterior. We had a house we just sold recently where the main body of the walls and the paint color was just fine. However, there was some peeling paint on the trim, you know, around the house. So we recommended to repaint the trim and keep the house the same because it was in perfect shape. Yeah. So that made a huge difference. And then, you know, because what happens is you want to eliminate all the negative things that a buyer could see when they approach the house and into the house, because they'll start making a list of negative items in their heads. And when they have a list of negative items in their heads of things that they need to do, that ultimately starts ticking away at the price of your house, because they go, oh, I got to fix that. I got to paint this. I got to fix that. So
in some cases, it eliminates the house from even getting an offer on it.
That is true.
Yeah.
So if you can eliminate the negativity and the negative items from the forefront, you're going to have a better chance for selling it for what you want to asking for the house. So last one. Why don't you get into the last one here?
Well, it's a minor or let's just call it minor or kitchen remodel. You know, the 2 rooms people look at mostly, and more so women than men, and let's remember this, men, women are the hammers when it comes to buying a house most of the time. So let's get the house looking good for them. We get the bathrooms and the kitchen looking good. We're halfway there on that battle. So get that kitchen going. You know, if it's a great location, older neighborhood, but very established, great schools, but yet it has the, you know, old 1970s tile in it. That isn't accepted that much anymore versus people walking in houses, and now they see the countertops redone, they see a little bit nicer carpet. You know, things changed from the 70s to now quite a bit, so if they see too much of the 70s in there, it's a little bit of a turnoff. So get that kitchen going, countertops, maybe appliances, clean the cabinets or replace them, whichever one is needed. But you have to watch, that one can run you quite a bit of money, just like that bathroom can.
Yeah.
So, you know, with that said, like David said earlier, remember the big key here is the realtor that does those comps for you with the house as is versus the house fixed up. And is there enough difference in the value versus what you paid to get these things done that there's still profit there? If there's not profit, then maybe you should just sell your house as is.
Yeah.
But if there's profit there, 2 things will happen. You'll make a profit, and it's going to sell a lot faster. So, you know, make sure you have a realtor that knows how to do that. And that'll help you know if you're going to be putting some money into your house or not, because sometimes you put a little bit of money in and you make more.
Yeah, just to add on to that briefly, is when people ask me, should I put money into the house before I sell? And I mean, obviously each case is different, but there's basically one major reason that you just touched on. Homes that are improved and fixed up and ready to go tend to sell faster. So if you're looking to sell quick and you need to be somewhere else fairly quick, then yeah, it would make sense to improve your house some, to get it listed, get it in escrow, and get it sold relatively quick. Homes that are dated, need some work, I mean, if you just look at the statistics, their days on market are average. They're much higher than the ones that aren't. So that's one key reason why you should do some improvements and prepare the house. It's like selling your car, right? If you want to try to sell your car, you're not going to put a for sale sign in the window and not wash the dang thing.
Yeah, of a dirty car.
Yeah. You're going to clean it. You're going to get the brushes out and have it detailed and clean the rims and the tires and the windows. And I don't understand why people don't do that with their homes. You know,
make a big difference.
Having a deep cleaning on a home and cleaning the windows and cleaning off the walkways like we talked about makes a huge difference. But yet people go and just sell it without doing anything. And then you have a realtor come along and take pictures with their iPhone 3 that are dark and ugly and whatnot, and they just think the house is going to sell.
Is mine a 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, a little bit of time, energy, and effort, and maybe a little bit of money goes a long way in getting that house dialed in.
You know, David, one more thing is, especially with the lower end houses, get that house where it will go FHA versus maybe the way it is right now won't, because you see, like you said, the chip paint, maybe there's a little bit of rotted wood, maybe there's a little something wrong with the roof. If that house can go from just selling conventional or cash to FHA, you're going to bring in more than double the amount of buyers for that same home, and it's going to sell for more, especially in this market, and get into a bidding war and sell for a lot more.
Yeah.
So that might be home improvements on the lower end houses might help even more than on the middle to the higher end houses.
Yeah, you just expanded the buyer pool.
Yeah.
Of people able to buy the house, for sure.
Yep.
Well, I think we've covered that quite a bit and then some. So we appreciate you all watching. Please subscribe to the channel down below and comment. Let me know what you think. Maybe there's some things we missed today. Maybe you have some recommendations on what we can do. And don't stay out of pool, okay? Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button for us. It'd make us feel good. And we'll see you next week on the Ask the Broker Show.